Damn, guys. I may or may not have a lot of thoughts on where things are going, so might as well start sharing them out and continuing on with my shitty stuff that I'm doing. Yikes. Okay, so story time. We're going to evolve that shit over time. No big deal. But it makes me think of what is up. It's like the most life revealing thing is when you understand how you just have to connect to other people. And yet you see on the internet, once you say to yourself, I have to connect, and once the interest kind of fades out, because at start you're gonna see like, oh man, there's so many flashy things going on in the world. I gotta be a part of that shit. I gotta examine what the fuck's going on over there. When that shit fades out, the feeling of needing to attach is next. And I'm still not in there. I'm like the third person that people will see like, oh yeah, this guy is genuine. That's why, that's kind of like the position I'm at. And in between, we have people that do spectacular things and people that do consistent, but not so spectacular, but do consistently good things. And there's one more part of this which is very questionable, is how many people can I reach out to? How do I see myself attaching in the first place? This all relationship building is, for me, still unexplored and very complicated thing. Is how does it all grow? I mean, I know I will not reach out to infinite amount of people, and I don't want to or have to do so, and yet I will still have incredible amount of, fun, and it's kind of the purpose of life as well. And how much it changes you to find the right type of people to attach to, and yet we all have to organize that. We have to figure out how to teach that at the same time as well. There's just so many complex things that we have to understand and just accordingly choose. We have to educate ourselves and then make choices. What are we going to spend time on? What are we going to reach out to? What kind of chance do we have to reach out to people? How do we do it in the first place? To have that chance that, the 100% is probably the best one. You're not going to get that most of the time, but alright. So, you might have favorite YouTubers, but you are not going to reach them out. You may have attached, but you're not going to reach them out. That's one of the problems. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to explore. My good side is that I will care about little stuff. At the same time, I'm kind of a little thing myself, and I detach from my most important work, which I will come back to hopefully. But at the same time, there is another most important work, which is me in general, right? So, if I develop myself properly, I can do a lot better things, whatever I decide to do. And because of the interconnection of everything, I cannot... I still see like a lot of use in just straight up programming. Just insane amount of use. In terms of how much fun you can have, the way that you can spend time, and yet I kind of want to explore that as well. How can you spend time? Now, initially I wanted to make this video about who. Okay, so let's say I'm a little bit more calmer in the evening, but at the same time I'm a little bit more tired. I don't have a lot of awareness on my speech. Ugh, it feels so awkward, but yeah. It's like you don't feel what you say. You just don't feel it. It's so awkward. You don't have enough energy to monitor what you're talking about. It's so weird. So that's the difference between mornings, where morning is when I wake up and I just can't speak at all. And I mess up completely. So it's a weird choice, but it probably has to come up every evening instead of a morning where I want to make the video. At least prioritize that way. And probably morning is where I just generally have to figure out how to turn on the positivity switch, which is basically everything. If you don't turn on the positivity switch and just accept that you can figure out a way to make the day seem good without bad feelings whatsoever, just trust in yourself. That's a huge point of the positivity switch, the way it works. Just trust in yourself. Actually, it's something to explore as well. It's like, how does it work? Who turns it off? All this crap. Wow, it's really draining to do these. I have no idea how people do it. How people do anything out there. And that's incredible, man. How much work is being put in there, you just start to appreciate. When you do it yourself, this shit is faster than a marathon. It's mind work. So let's just jump into the story part. From the ramblings, we need to get to Naruto and Sasuke, because the whole Team 7 is now corrupting the dream. That's annoying. Gurren Tenten is going to have to deal with this stuff to figure out a way out, perhaps. Eventually. They eventually will have to defeat the whole system. And I was wondering what is the way out. The ending. Right now we have a 6 out of 7, and the last episode is gonna be pretty soon. Because of my work schedule, I have the whole fucking weekend destroyed in exchange for a free week. So basically this week I work 4 days, and next week I don't have to work at all. So that's gonna be cool. We can do the story time extensively and jump into the next season. Ugh. I know it's crap, but everything evolves, so that's great. And there's a lot of stuff to talk about, a lot of experiences from my past, a lot of thoughts about the future. There's just incredible amount of crazy shit. Whew. I'm surprised it's this hard to make these things. I'm surprised. So, what kind of corruption Naruto and Sasuke could do? I attached Sakura as being overly sexualized, and just women in general, certain women, but like in general, they are trying to use their skills to attract men. It's so weird. It's just, genders are weird. They don't really work anymore in a time of peace. It's more like a convenience thing, where you kind of have to accept the authority of nature and say, yes, I am born that way, and yet people don't even do that much. So we have Sakura as like lustful and over-sexualized personality, creeping into dreams, and kind of corrupting them. It's like, you can have all these things. It's kind of, you have to think from the perspective that the Team 7 members chose the Dreamworld to create a Dreamworld for themselves, but they have more freedom than a regular ninja inside this infinite Tsukuyomi, which means they can exchange freedom for taking other people's freedoms and using them. So somehow these members have to corrupt others in some way, right? In some bad way. So I still can't see, I guess, like the attraction thing is a thing for women using the makeup and shit. And yet it all can be broken off because you still cannot really harm people because people are the resource in the first place. But the Team 7 is helping kind of create, Naruto is trying to create the ultimate authority and gain all the attention. Sasuke is kind of weird to figure out. Can I figure out what Sasuke is supposed to do? All this time he was seeking revenge, and I guess seeking power in some way, because he developed a lot of power and tried to kind of match against the authority of Naruto. And that went pretty far, I suppose. But I guess is the search for power and kind of detaching from everyone else. So he would embrace that. So we basically have the whole Team 7 set up as a corruption, as boss fights for the couple. Whew. That's gonna be the ending, right? Fighting against these boss fights. The Naruto's authority, the Sasuke's lust for power, Kakashi trying to overly teach things uncreatively in his own way, the way he learned things, but without like empathy. And then Sakura is trying to create lust on owning things, I suppose. It's not necessarily power. It's just kind of like ownership. Damn, so fucking weird. I mean, Sakura just have been chasing after Sasuke all this time. And if she gains power, she has all this lust that she wants to embrace. And she would reverse Sasuke's opinion about her. So that's kind of the point. But now the corruption is trying to make people work within a dream, thinking that they're gonna get something, but it kind of perpetuates the lie, really. They promise one thing and they try to distract in every way possible that the promise never happened. Yeah. It's kind of like embracing the ability to forget things, to traumatize people and then make them forget. It's a very interesting metaphor that I have built up so far, which has started with a dream world in general. The coolest metaphor ever, because we always say in a conspiracy world, you gotta wake people up. So building up that is a pretty interesting deal. Alright, I can't wait to reset everything all over again. But first beat these 4 bosses and get the fuck out of here. I know it was yet another weird video, but that's cool stuff. That's my life, guys. And life is interesting.